Hello, happy Wednesday. Miss A here. Today you will start writing an explanatory essay. It will be a summative grade. It is due Friday. Today you will plan, tomorrow you will write, Friday you will revise. So I'm going to take you to the pages in the book that help you write your essay. All right, so the instructions for writing your essay start on page 202. Please pause me so that everyone can find page 202. All right, welcome back, friends. You will be writing an explanatory essay. Your essay question is, how are historical events reflected in the play Diary of Anne Frank? So I'm going to circle that. All right, that is your essay topic. Now, yesterday, some of you kind of struggled with finding evidence of how historical events are reflected in the play. Some of you just wanted to use the timeline. That's not what the essay question is asking. The essay question is asking for you to use two texts, the timeline and the play. So you need to use the play. You're going to put them together. It's called synthesize. You're going to synthesize information. Oops, we don't need that. You're going to synthesize information from the two texts to show how the playwrights represented the effects of these historical events on the people in the play. So they give you some examples down here at the bottom. It says, cite specific historical events and explain how the playwrights choose to filter them through the action of key scenes in the play. Explain how outside events affected the moods of the residents. So sometimes there was a very tense mood. There was a very sad mood. Conclude your essay with a judgment of how well the playwrights capture the relationship between the people in the annex and what's happening in the outside world. So, yesterday, I gave you some key events to focus on. So I would like you now to turn to page 196. Please pause me while everybody turns to page 196. Okay, so here in this timeline, you see at the top, these are events for the Anne Frank family. At the bottom, these are historical world events. Now, you can choose to show how these events up top are reflected in the play, or you can choose the events at the bottom. You have to use the play and the timeline in your essay. So let me give you an example. So yesterday in your chart, this is the example I gave. This is what jumped out to me. So here, the Nuremberg laws required that Jews had to wear the Star of David. I remembered that conversation that Peter and Anne had about their Star of David in scene 2 of Act 1. And so I connected that to the Nuremberg laws. I thought it was a great way for the playwrights to show how the Jews felt about wearing the star. The fact that the star is a strong symbol of their faith, but that the Nazis turned it into a negative symbol to dehumanize the Jews. It showed two different views of how how Jews felt about the star and wearing the star. So if I go back to that here, so I go back to that scene, and I know it feels like a lot. I'm going to try to help. So scene 1, it's Miep and Mr. Frank. Scene 2, we start with the Van Dans. Everyone meets each other. So here on page 110, there's a conversation between Peter and Anne. So in this conversation, Peter cuts off his star and wants to burn it. Anne feels uncomfortable burning it because it's a symbol of their faith. So I thought this was an excellent representation of how the Jews felt, how the Nuremberg laws affected the Jews. So that's what you're going to be writing about, guys. You are going to be writing about how the playwrights showed the effects of the Nazis on the Jews through the actions of the characters. The whole point is to see how the play honors the experiences of the victims of the Holocaust. So that's what you will be writing about. You're going to be showing how the playwrights represented these historical events. Now, again, you can write about the historical events of the family and how it's reflected in the play. You can write about the historical events of the Nazis and how it's reflected in the play, but you will be using both texts. All right, now I'm going to try quickly to make short videos for each part of the essay. So as you go down through the PowerPoint, you will see a video for the hook, a video for the thesis, a video for the body, and hopefully for the conclusion. Fingers crossed.